And that's why we're so proud to be part of GB News.
You look genuinely emotional. Oh, come here.
GBNews does pay attention to those who are ignored by the mainstream media. The majority of this country whose forefathers fought and died to maintain liberty, to fight for freedom of speech.
The rule of law, the rights of property and democracy. This is the heritage that our country should be so proud of.
Which of course includes our Christian heritage. There's been a huge resurgence in the number of people going to church. Perhaps they're not finding what they're looking for, and they're looking for something a bit deeper, a bit more truthful, a bit more akin to Britain's Christian heritage.
That's right, get ready, because the most exciting night in general election history starts now!
Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much to our live studio audience. It's 9 p.m. I'm Patrick Christys tonight.
And I'm going to say to my non-Muslim friends here tonight, to my Jewish friends, to my Christian friends, to my Hindu friends, to my Sikh friends, thank you.
Yes, Keir Starmer is going to put Sadiq Khan in the House of Lords, apparently, and... Well, devastating news today. An Afghan small boat migrant has been sentenced for raping and abducting a 12-year-old schoolgirl. Plus,
the idea that somehow everybody could have seen that sometime in the future there would be a request for the phone is, to my mind, a little bit far-fetched.
Well, in the last few minutes, there's been a dramatic twist in the Morgan McSweeney phone theft, hasn't there? Because the breaking news right now is that Scotland Yard has just reopened the investigation into the reported theft of McSweeney's phone amid growing questions over his sequence of events. And has anyone ever seen an interview quite like this?
How many frigates do we have in the fleet?
We have
That goes on for ages, by the way, that. It just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. Anyway, also, do gay people need special houses?
We're here on site in Whalley Range for the UK's first LGBTQ+ majority housing scheme.
Yeah, OK. And are you a lazy parent if you're shoving your child in front of a device or a screen for hours? I think we're going to get some strong views on that from the audience. On my panel tonight, we've got broadcasting royalty Christo Fufa. We've got former Conservative MP Anna Firth. We have got Labour councillor Sebastian Sadiq. Lukewarm. And we've got businessman and activist Adam Brooks. There you go. So, get ready, Britain. Here we go. It's another day of illegal migrant madness. Next.
Good evening. Your headlines at 9:02. Scotland Yard has reopened the investigation into the reported theft of Morgan McSweeney's phone amid growing questions over the sequence of events. That's according to reports in The Telegraph. It's understood the Prime Minister's former Chief of Staff was contacted by the Met Police on Thursday and asked to provide a formal statement about the alleged incident. Mr McSweeney has come under pressure over the reported incident after the government agreed to release messages and emails relating to the appointment of Lord Mandelson as British ambassador to the US. The alleged theft of Mr McSweeney's mobile phone means messages he shared with the disgraced peer in the run-up to his appointment are likely to have been permanently lost. The US expects the Iran operation to conclude within weeks, not months, according to the country's Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. Speaking after the meeting of G7 foreign minister in France, Rubio said, "We have objectives and we're very confident we're on the verge of achieving them." It comes after Donald Trump has extended a pause on striking Iran to 10 days. This means the pause will be in effect until the 6th of April. Meanwhile, Iranian media says US-Israeli strikes have hit 2 nuclear-related facilities. The boss of Asda has rejected Labour's claims that businesses are profiteering from the war in Iran, accusing ministers of having zero credibility. It's after the average price of a litre of petrol has risen to above 150 pence a litre for the first time since May 2024, with diesel over 177 pence, a month after the US and Israel launched attacks on Iran. Ministers, including Rachel Reeves, accused businesses of price gouging. Sir Keir Starmer also promised new powers for the competition regulator to crack down on such practices. However, the Asda chief, Alan Leighton, said the crackdown was a complete waste of time. And Tiger Woods has been involved in a rollover crash in Florida today. That's according to US media, who are citing the local sheriff's office. The incident reportedly occurred in Jupiter Island in the southeast of the state. No details about the crash of the 50-year-old's condition have been reported yet, but police are said to be investigating. Donald Trump has reacted, saying he feels so badly after hearing about the crash of his very close friend. Kemi Badenoch is considering a ban on burqas in an attempt to tackle Islamist extremism, according to the Telegraph newspaper. Chris Philp, the Shadow Home Secretary, and his Justice counterpart are understood to be looking closely at the merits of a ban as part of a review on Islamism. The Telegraph understands that Mr Philp is concerned that the full-body garment can be divisive, work against integration and foster extremism. Those are the latest GB News headlines. Now it's back to Patrick.
Tune in to GB News Radio wherever you are. Online, on DAB Digital Radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player, on Nation Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much, everyone, who's made the journey to be here tonight. And just before I get stuck into this story that we're doing now, I should say that the update on the Morgan McSweeney case, that police have said they're going to be examining the CCTV from the street where he claims his phone was taken. So that is the update. So we're going to talk about that in the next section, though, but that's the breaking news line. Anyway, earlier this week, I revealed that I'd infiltrated a WhatsApp group for people smugglers. They were showing off how many guns they had. They've got AK-47, semi-automatic rifles, pump-action shotguns, pistols, you name it, they've got it. One even had the profile picture of the dead Ayatollah, which is obviously concerning, given the fear of Iranian terrorist sleeper cells in Britain. Then we revealed that the Home Office was refusing to tell us the number of local councils that will be taking part in a scheme to give newly refurbished council house properties to asylum seekers. So they're refusing to answer our freedom of information request on this. They say that they have the detail, they say that they agree that it's in the public interest, but they say they're just not going to tell us. So then it turned out the number of asylum seekers in taxpayer-funded accommodation has actually risen by 40% in the last 18 months, all under Labour. And today, this happened. An Afghan asylum seeker who came to Britain on a small boat has now been sentenced to 15 years in prison for raping and abducting a 12-year-old schoolgirl in Nuneaton. Any guesses where he was living, anyone? Well, he was reportedly living in a taxpayer-funded house of multiple occupancy. And if you join the dots there, it doesn't take a genius, does it? I think this is the kind of stuff, this is the kind of reason why they don't want to tell us how many councils are going to be renovating council houses and putting asylum seekers in them. Personally, I think you have a right to know, don't you? If your local council is going to be renovating houses in your area, who is going to be living in those houses? They actually identified and caught this monster because they managed to trace a taxpayer-funded bank card that he had. He bought 2 cans of Red Bull after the attack. So you were paying for him to live in the area where he attacked a schoolgirl, then you paid for him to get some refreshments after he'd attacked her, which I think is the other kind of kick in the shins there, isn't it, really? But look, Labour's big problem is this. They think that we just want to shut the hotels. But that's not really the point, is it? We just don't want potential child rapists scattered around the UK. But let's get the views of my panel and we'll go to the audience on this. Look, Adam, there's obviously a combination of stories there, really. I mean, it's kind of full-blown madness, really, when you see that the people there that are in possession of weapons, the Home Office not telling us exactly where they're going to be putting asylum seekers, etc.
You just said there we do not want them in hotels. I think I speak for the majority of this country when I say we do not want them in this country. Yeah. We do not know what they have done in their past. We do not know what their intentions are when they're here. We have people from cultures far different from our own. I've spoken to the families and the girls, 2 girls that have been sexually assaulted by asylum seekers from hotels. Their lives are ruined. They need counselling. One lost her job because of that attack. She just cannot function in the real world right now. The devastation that we are importing, these are monsters. I've got a 12-year-old girl myself, and to hear stories like this, he abducted her and he raped her. I mean, it makes me upset, but it makes me angry. This should not be happening. Every one of these crimes is avoidable because they should not be here. Just quickly, Afghans. It always seems to be Afghans as well. There is data sets that prove they are between 3 times and 22 times more likely to commit a sexual crime in this country over a native Brit. That is a cultural difference, and that is a moral difference beyond belief. And we are dumping these men in hotels, in HMOs, next to our women and our children, and we don't know who they are. So this has to stop. And for the Labour government to label people like me as far right, for pushing back, for protesting, I think we're going to look back in a couple of decades and be horrified at what our government has done to us and our children.
Right, OK. I'll come to you on this. I mean, obviously, we've just had that case there, haven't we, of that illegal migrant being sent.
Well, I think this is a terrible reflection on this government's promise to smash the gangs. This person was in this country for 4 months. GBNews has shown that it's possible to contact gangs, that it's possible to interact with them, that it's possible to tell the police where they are. This government has done nothing, and that person should not even have been in the country. But here's I think, an even more concerning fact. There are 1.3 million Brits at the moment on the waiting list for housing. 1.3 million. Some of those will be veterans, some of those will be women who suffered sexual abuse, some of those will be people suffering overcrowding. And yet we've got a scheme here from this government to invest £500 million in building accommodation for asylum seekers who are illegal in this country. That's a disgrace. A complete disgrace. And what should we do about it? For number one, we should not be giving visas out to Afghanistan people who are coming here. I was amazed to look up today and find that we are giving out over 9,000 legal visas to people coming from Afghanistan. That should stop if they will not take people back who have committed crimes in this country. That's number one. And number two, we are giving £171 million in aid to Afghanistan. That should stop completely if they don't take their illegals back who are committing crimes on our streets. End of.
OK. All right. We'll take our first question and point on the night, and then we'll go to our other panellists. There's a gentleman with the microphone there. I believe you got a point on this, sir? Yep.
Yeah, hi, good evening, folks. Wishing you happy Easter in advance.
Thank you very much, mate. Same to you.
Right, first of all...
keep that microphone.
Why are we letting these folk in the first place? OK, we can't stop them. What we can do is take them out of the HMOs, out of the hotels, and put them in secured, gated accommodation. Ex-prisons will be a good start. Dartmoor, good place to start. Not many people have got away from there. Anything that's gated, secure, put them in there, and anyone who wants to leave there to go out shopping, they have supervised visits. No one's left alone outside the confines of that secured accommodation, and then they're escorted back. That way, they are of no danger whatsoever to the local population. As far as arms go, why aren't they being searched when they land? How on earth are they smuggling AK-47s of God knows what into the country?
I want to clarify that. So that is AK-47s and guns that are in possession with the people smugglers that are currently in northern France. Obviously, the concern is that if they're able to smuggle people into Britain, then maybe they could smuggle those guns in. But I do want to clarify, as far as we're aware, that AK-47 is not currently in Britain. It's very much the problem for the people of Dunkirk. But yes, obviously, the fear is that it could be. Yeah.
And lastly, on this topic. OK, they're going into HMOs at the moment. What we, as the general population, need to do, neighbourhood watches, all yourselves, keep an eye out as to who's doing what, new builds going up, renovations, keep an eye out for who's going in there, and then out them. Let the wider folk know who's going in these accommodations so they're aware of who's living next door to them. Rapists, terrorists, coming to an area near you.
Well, I mean, all of that would, well, not all of it, but a lot of it would make people's lives easier if the Home Office, of course, just were honest about where these people were going, who they were moving in, etc., and then maybe people could feel a bit more comfortable in their own homes and in their own area. Thank you very much for your points. Sebastian, I imagine there's quite a bit you want to come back to here.
Yeah, let's start with where we probably will all agree, which is that what we saw in that attack is an absolute tragedy. It always is whenever somebody is attacked that way. But what we must also do is focus on the evidence. And what I don't have, and what I don't think anybody has, and I'd be very happy to be corrected on this, is any evidence that if you are an asylum seeker, you are more of a threat to people than if you were born in this country.
I'm putting up a crime every day, Sebastian. Please, let's get in the real world. We've all got eyes, we've all got ears. On my social media, I'm putting up an asylum seeker sex crime every single day.
So, Adam, what I'm asking for is evidence. And what
I told you earlier, the evidence proves that Afghans, if you want to go with Sky News, are 3 times more likely to commit a sexual crime while they're here in this country.
So I'll come back on that,
so
because there are a number of things we have to say about that. So in that data set, you're comparing two groups of Afghans. One is them in 2021, one is them in 2023. The problem is, during that period, you had a massive flood come into this country because Afghanistan fell, largely because of our involvement in that country, and they were coming here legally through that channel. So you can't go by that data.
So let's go on the data on 2021.
If you look at asylum seekers, they are broadly younger. Younger people tend to make more crimes.
That Sky News has been calibrated 3 times, and that was in 2021. Why was that not a problem then? Then if it's 3 times in 2021, why was that not a problem?
All right, I'll just say, I'll let Sebastian come back to this, because on the 17th of July 2025, the court data showed that 1 in every 100 asylum seekers living in taxpayer-funded hotels had appeared in court or for a criminal offence that year, or was wanted on suspicion of a criminal offence. That is 1 in every 100 asylum seekers living in taxpayer-funded accommodation, which I dare say is higher than the average population. I mean, there's not 1 in every 100 people here in Britain, Sebastian, I don't think, are wanted for a crime. Is that right?
I don't know. It's the first time seeing that data, so I'm going to have a little read and I'll come back to you, if that's OK.
All right, fair enough. Chris, what else?
Well, firstly, look, Sebastian, I just want to say that, yes, it is tragic when any sex crime is committed, but I absolutely loathe it when people say that in response to a crime when it's a discussion about migrants committing sex crimes, because it kind of sounds a little bit like, well, you know, it's very, very... I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm saying anyone that does this, you know, oh, it's really, really tragic that the migrants have committed the crime. But it's tragic when anyone does, and it sort of widens the discussion out that all sex crimes are bad. All sex crimes, all crimes are bad, but we're talking about the proportion of migrants that are carrying them out. And if you are bringing in, I think, one crime from a migrant is too many, because you are bringing in a problem to a country. That problem may well already exist in that country, but who wants to add to that problem? That doesn't negate the problem, the fact that it already exists in a country already. We don't say, well, burglary exists, so, well, let's import some burglars, because, you know, burglary's already existing. Because what you do is you go, well, let's try and stop more burglary. So I never liked that response. But more importantly, these are all stories of governments failing in their number one duty, and a government's number one duty is to look after the citizens that are in that country already, whether that be protecting them from crimes, which is not happening if they are crimes from people who are coming abroad, but also those people that do the fair thing, pay into the system, maybe find themselves in hard times, maybe they need council accommodation. I mean, if it was up to me, I would actually be giving council accommodation to key workers over and above everyone else, and making it about that rather than people who need it for any other reason, because we are failing the vulnerable in society by looking externally and trying to solve problems from people who aren't here already.
Just say, last night Charlie Peters did a sleep out to raise awareness for homeless military veterans, and, you know, you kind of think, well, whilst that's going on, simultaneously we've got a 40% increase in asylum seekers in taxpayer-funded accommodation. I mean, that seems to be... If we can find the accommodation for people who've just arrived, maybe we could also find it for people who serve this country. Look, Seb, can I ask you a question about... Do you feel as though the Home Office should be telling the wider public which councils have signed up to this pilot scheme to renovate council properties for asylum seekers, or do you think it's fair enough that they're not doing that?
I'm torn on this because on the one hand you might ask, well, why shouldn't they tell us? But on the other hand, this is their right not to say. We're going to find out eventually. It's going to come out. So I don't see a pressing reason for why they should tell us now.
The transparency,
and I'm willing to have my mind changed on that.
Can I just say the more important data that we should be getting, though, is, and I feel there's a reason we don't get it, is how many crimes are committed by however many people from different countries, and those crimes broken down. And you know, and I take your data, but
no, I've got new data. I've got some shocking data. So, British Transport Police had to release some information because of a Freedom of Information request. 37% of sexual crimes on the British Rail network were foreign-born, were foreigners. 37%. Let's just say, let's be generous and say 15% of our population is born abroad or is foreign. Look at how disproportionate those arrests are. We are importing people from cultures far different from our own,
so,
and that
Adam,
are more likely to commit
this.
sex crimes. Yeah, let's do.
Because you're talking as if we Brits are just perfect and angelic.
I'm saying that foreigners are disproportionately. You're doing it again.
Hang on,
You're doing it again.
Sebastian, the point which I think you are missing completely, and I think you're distracting us from the real issue here. The real issue here is that these people have come here illegal.
Because there are no legal routes, Anna. They have no other choice.
Pakistan.
It is by pure accident of birth that we were all born in this country.
No, Sebastian, that is just not true. As I read out to you earlier, we have allowed 9,000 Afghans to come last year through legal routes. That 15% of people who come here under the family reunion scheme are Afghan nationals. So don't tell me there are no legal routes for them.
They're coming with visas. They're not coming as asylum seekers. They're two different categories of people. We mustn't merge those together.
When in Rome, you should do as the Romans do, and that means if you should obey their laws. I don't think that is old-fashioned or controversial. If you don't obey the laws, I'm sorry, and it's certainly if you go around raping young girls, you should be deported.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
And the number of British people
Very much. Right, it's a lively start, isn't it? It's a lively start. Sorry, we're out of time for this segment, but on the allegation that the government is hiding how many local authorities want to put migrants in new council houses, a government spokesperson has previously said suitable locations for Home Office-run pilots and allocation of funding are currently being reviewed. They say that new council housing will not be used by illegal migrants under any circumstances. Quite clever wording there from them. But anyway, a Home Office spokesperson has told GB News these claims are nonsense. It's standard practice to not disclose ongoing procurement, as doing so could compromise the best possible deal for the taxpayer. New council housing will not be used by illegal migrants under any circumstances. We did also go to the NCA, National Crime Agency, as well, because of the guns that we showed. Organised crime groups involved in people smuggling risk the safety of those they transport and also threaten the border security. They go on to say, obviously, that they are doing everything they can to clamp down on all of this, whether it's on social media or in real life. Right, look, loads to get through, but of course, it is time now for the Great British Giveaway. Here's how you can be in it to win it.
It's a prize package worth over £92,000 and it could be all yours in our very latest Great British Giveaway. There's a totally tax-free £25,000 in cash that you'll be able to spend on anything you like this year. Plus, you'll also get to drive away in a brand new Benevan 122 camper van. Courtesy of Marquis Leisure, this latest 2026 model comes fully loaded with everything you'd expect. You can even drive it on your existing driving licence. Plus, it comfortably sleeps 4 people. Make sure you don't miss out on the biggest prize package of the year so far. For another chance to win a camper van and cash, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB20 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 1st of May. The winner may be contacted live after all entry routes have closed. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yeah, welcome back. Some breaking news for you now. And a Martin County sheriff in Florida has told reporters that golfing legend Tiger Woods was taken to jail after a charge of driving under the influence following a rollover crash in Florida. The incident reportedly occurred in Jupiter Island in the southeast of the state. Donald Trump has reacted, saying he feels so badly after hearing about the crash of his very close friend. So just to reiterate for you, apparently golfing legend Tiger Woods is currently in jail on suspicion of driving under the influence. So there you go. Obviously get more updates for you on that as we get it. Coming up after the break is some more breaking news for you. Well, it's a big development in the Morgan McSweeney phone theft case. So police officers have now said they're going to be examining CCTV in the correct street where Morgan McSweeney says he was robbed. More on that when we come back. As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in,
Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christys tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From court mornings
to warm family brunches,
from football to tennis in the car,
in the kitchen.
GB News breakfast is there. With the stories you need and the conversations that matter.
Anyway, let's talk business.
Well, it has been a historic night in British politics.
It's astonishing, isn't it? We're here again to start your day just right. GB News breakfast.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Britain's news channel.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Every week there are stories that shape the national conversation.
We'll be discussing that.
And on Saturday Morning Live, we break them down.
Is that true? This is fascinating, isn't it?
The politics, the headlines, the debates everyone's talking about.
And the questions that you want answered.
Do you think that was a legitimate attack for him to make?
What led you to set up this fantastic movement?
You know what? It's a great question, Olivia.
So what are you waiting for?
Your weekend starts here. Saturdays at 10 a.m. only on GB News.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There, you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back. Thank you very much. Well, some breaking news in the last hour. Scotland Yard is reviewing CCTV from Westminster after former Number 10 Chief of Staff Morgan McSweeney reported a robbery of his phone. But to be clear, the police are saying this doesn't technically mean they're reopening the case, which is slightly odd, given that they're looking at it again. But anyway, McSweeney gave a formal statement on Thursday, and police released his 999 call following the alleged theft of his government phone, which obviously may contain messages related to Peter Mandelson's controversial US ambassador appointment. Now, most people seem to think that this is, at the very least, very convenient timing, don't they? That the government became worried that his phone might be made public on, roughly speaking, October the 11th, and then October the 20th it goes walkabout. But anyway, the Prime Minister denied any link between the phone theft and the upcoming release of all correspondence. He said it was, what was it, far-fetched for anyone to think there's some kind of conspiracy going on. Here he is.
It was reported at the time, and the police have acknowledged and confirmed that that is what happened. And the idea that somehow everybody could have seen that sometime in the future there would be a request for the phone is, to my mind, a little bit far-fetched.
Apart from the fact that it's not actually far-fetched, because it was widely reported at the time that they were worried about the idea of this phone being made public. Anyway, it looks as though the police are going to be examining the CCTV now, Christo.
Yeah, I mean, what an amazing chain of completely coincidental events. And who could have possibly predicted that during an investigation into a wildly inappropriate person being made US ambassador, that the Chief of Staff to the Prime Minister might need to hand over some information? It's like Mystic Meg has been resurrected, isn't it? Because, you know, why wasn't the phone backed up? I mean, that's the big story, I think, that is being missed here, right? Even if the phone got stolen very, very conveniently just before it would need to be handed over as part of this investigation. I mean, I just thought I was going mad. I literally just had to look it up on Google going, well, WhatsApp is backed up. Everything in your phone is backed up. And you have an automatic backup on.
It's not, though. It's not. Backups you have to turn on yourself. We're going to get techie here, but it's important.
So is he a moron, then?
Well,
sorry,
no,
the Chief of Staff... So can I just say, the Chief of Staff with a government phone that is literally a really important piece of technical equipment that is absolutely integral to the running of government and to being the Prime Minister Chief of Staff, didn't have his backup turned on.
Here's what's astonishing. The amount of government business that is done via WhatsApp. It's not a Labour thing, it's a cross-governmental thing, all parties.
So isn't that more reason to back up WhatsApp?
And yeah, I would agree with you. You should back that up. But equally, you can go the other way. You can turn on disappearing messages. Your phone, if it's not backed up and you throw it into the sea, those messages are gone. The tech bigwigs in California can't read them.
Nonsense.
That is the bigger problem.
Nonsense. If you're a drug dealer or a terrorist, they do find these messages. So for me, a phone that has got potential damaging material about our Prime Minister, it's my opinion, I don't want to get sued, it's my opinion that this phone would have brought down the Prime Minister. And it is very convenient that it's suddenly gone. It wasn't backed up. They haven't gone to Mandelson and asked for his personal messages. Why? Again, if it was a criminal investigation with you or I, they would go to all those people's phones and they would take them and they would get that data. This stinks to high heaven, and I believe, again, it is my opinion, this is the most corrupt government that we've had in the last 30 or 40 years.
Well, I suppose we're going to find out now whether or not this phone was stolen and when he said it was stolen, because the police are going to be looking at the CCTV, Anna.
Well, exactly. I mean, the whole... I mean, I'm not a great conspiracy theorist, but the whole thing about this, it doesn't really pass the sniff test, does it? You know, first of all, it is extremely odd that a phone with crucial information goes missing. Secondly, I just don't buy the idea that someone this senior in number 10 would not have had some training about backing up his phone. I mean, when I was an MP, you know, I knew that I'd have to back up my phone because all the photos were in there, all the messages, you know, and even if you don't know, you get these annoying reminders all the time saying your storage is about to run out, and if you press this button, you can pay £1 every month and it will all be backed up. So he did know how to back up the phone, and someone in that senior position should have backed up their phone.
Well, he's either incredibly stupid or not telling the truth. Either way,
but you believe, I take it, believe the version of events.
I do. I think we're veering into conspiracy theory here because of the timeline. Mandelson gone in September, phone stolen in October. The whole conversation...
Investigation 8 days later where things are being revealed.
The whole conversation about giving over your phone and publishing everything happened this year. So This doesn't check out at all. There was no indication that was going to happen.
And who could have possibly predicted that information would need to be handed over? Who could have possibly
With the benefit of hindsight, we are all a genius.
Who could have possibly been in the know that information
what I find
might be
puzzling
required?
is because
the government's chief of staff.
Quite often I come on here and a lot of people tell me, God, isn't crime terrible in London? Isn't it a terrible place to live? Aren't we living in lawless London? The moment a crime happens in London, you're all leaping to defend it and saying it didn't happen.
The odds on that happening. The odds on that happening to that man just a few days before an investigation are tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands to one.
I'm glad you agree we live in a safe city.
I don't mind a bet, but this is too far-fetched.
This isn't a question, Sebastian, about crime and whether it's prevalent or not in London. This is a question about the workings right at the top of government and probably the most senior unelected official in the country.
Which I'm agreeing with you is flawed.
Has he destroyed crucial evidence or not? That's what we're actually discussing.
Well, it looks like he's had his phone snatched, and I'm not prepared to call him out and call him a liar on
Didn't a Labour MP also say that he didn't believe the story?
Why did Number 10 not report this to the Metropolitan Police?
He reported this to the police.
He reported it to the police. But something as serious as this should have been reported by Number 10 to the Metropolitan Police, and they didn't.
Look, let's see. Like I said, the latest is this. The Met say they're going to be analysing the CCTV footage of the street and the time of the incident, which is remarkable, really, if they've still got CCTV, because that was quite a long time ago now, wasn't it? So,
well, someone was misgendered on that street at the same time, so they've gone straight to that CCTV, but they've still got it.
And on that note, we did actually reach out to Morgan McSweeney on another phone, clearly, to ask if he wanted to comment on it.
But he hasn't got a phone, so he couldn't answer.
And he said, no, I don't want to comment. So there you go. That's that. Then we'll see.
Was it on WhatsApp?
I don't know. I stayed out of it. Right, OK. Right, look, so I imagine we've probably got a few parents in the room. It might be nice to come to you when we come back, because is your child spending too much time glued to a screen? I want to know if you think you're a lazy parent, or if someone is a lazy parent if they shove a screen in front of their child for more than an hour a day. So we'll have a chat about that when we come back.
I hope we haven't forgotten anything.
Travel insurance, I tick that box.
Yeah, but remember what you forgot last year.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
More heavy rain heading its way into Turkey. Fairly wet on the north coast of Spain, but much of the east coast and the south coast dry and sunny spells too for the Canaries and Madeira. There's that sunshine for the Algarve, along with southern Spain, and mostly for the Balearics. Some showers are possible here. A few showers clearing away from southern Italy. There's that heavy rain moving into Turkey. Again, quite gusty and blustery here, with a few showers in Greece. Staying fine and sunny in Tenerife.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Good evening, I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, as we go into this weekend, there will be plenty of showers around on Saturday, and then some more persistent rain to come by Sunday, and all the time a bit of a chilly feel to things. That's because there's cold air coming in from the northwest across much of the UK behind the front that is now clearing away towards the southeast. So as we go through this evening, we're seeing the cloud, the rain in the south clearing away, and then, well, yes, there's showery rain, sleet and snow affecting Scotland, Northern Ireland and some northern parts of England and Wales, but across the bulk of England and Wales it will turn largely dry with clear skies, under which we are going to see temperatures dropping quite close to freezing, perhaps even a little bit below in some places, so there will be a touch of frost in a few places first thing on Saturday morning. But actually first thing on Saturday across much of England and Wales, yes, there will be some showers in the southwest and a few showers elsewhere, but a lot of dry sunny weather to be had, but some wetter weather pushing into parts of Northern Ireland, Northern England, the far north of Wales perhaps, and also a rash of showers across much of Scotland as well. Now these showers and the bursts of rain will continue as we go through the day. In fact, they're going to become a bit more widespread, so more places at risk of seeing some bursts of rain, and there will be some further winteriness, some sleet, some snow, particularly towards the north and over modest higher ground, and there could be some hail, some thunder mixed in with any heavier showers. And do watch out for some strong gusty winds, particularly with any heavier downpours. They're going to add to the chilly feel to things. Temperatures down compared to today and feeling it in those strong winds. Then another chilly start across England and Wales on Sunday morning, starting bright but turning increasingly cloudy and wet as rain in the northwest pushes its way southeastwards. That rain could turn a bit heavy at times, and all the while it is still going to feel chilly with the cloud and rain and blustery winds around. Signs of something a little bit drier and perhaps warmer as we go into next week.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain, with our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you.
Bulletins on GB News,
The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, you didn't say that, though.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much. So, this one has divided people all across the country. Some mums and dads are being criticised as lazy parents after new government guidelines advised limiting screen time for under 5s to just 1 hour a day and keeping them off social media entirely. Obviously, the implication there is that plenty of parents are letting the kids do whatever they want, I suppose, when it comes to phones, TV, etc. There's warns that it's addictive content, encouraging, unhealthy appetites, etc. Teachers are warning that some kids are starting school unable to handle a book, but they are able to scroll through an iPad, which again implies they're doing that at home. Can I go straight to the audience on this one, because we have someone here who is a parent, who's got a view on this? Could you stand up for us? Is that all right? Thank you very much. Firstly, can I ask how many children do you have?
3.
3. Well, good.
3,
Congratulations.
24, 14 and 10.
Right, OK, good. So what do you make of this idea? Do you...
Well, I think it's a controversial one, because they can't always just assume that parents are sticking their children in front of in front of social media. What about children that have got special educational needs?
Yeah.
Sometimes they need that zone-out time with an iPad. It could be something educational on there. I know I used to do that with my son, he is autistic.
Yep.
And it would just calm him down from his surroundings. If we were in a busy place that he couldn't join in, like, for instance, when we were on holiday, my middle daughter, she could join in, but he couldn't because he was too young to understand. So we did have to resort to an iPad. And the looks that we were getting was like, you can't judge, you don't understand why he's on that iPad. He's not on social media. He's actually on number blocks, which is educational. But also, they can't just assume that even teenagers are just on social media, because most homework now is online. So, like, my daughter, for instance, is spending hours upon hours researching and doing all of her written homework online. It's not like when we were children, we just used to get a bit of paper and, do it at home and hand it in.
So
everything's online.
Because I've been a bit guilty of this, and at times, which is, when you think like the child's just a bit naughty or something like that, or you're at a restaurant and you think the parents are just wanting a bit of an easy life and they shove something in front of them. But you felt quite stigmatised by that because people didn't understand that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was... The lady on holiday, she was like, what? Why is he on an iPad? And I thought, well, first of all, you don't understand why he's on there. Secondly, he's autistic and we don't really have a choice. He's either going to be on that iPad doing his little games on number blocks, or he's going to be kicking off and ruin it for
And then they'd complain if he kicked off as well, wouldn't they?
Exactly.
So
they can't just always assume. I do get it. I've been guilty of it. Sometimes you just need that bit of break just to even get the dinner done. But obviously, they shouldn't be on an iPad all day. But I do get there are two sides to this, but they can't always assume that parent is lazy and they were just sticking them in front of an iPad.
Good points, well made. Go on.
But I think the difference that it sounds like with you, madam, is that it's supervised. You know the time that your child is on there, what they're doing, and it sounds like you're a great parent because that's the solution that is specific for you. Obviously, this all comes today from the guidance from Bridget Phillipson, the Education Secretary. Well, firstly, I wouldn't take guidance from Bridget Phillipson on how to look after my dog, let alone a child, because, I mean, what she's done to the education system in this country is absolutely appalling. But to me, it's a no-brainer that you know, not like what you're talking about, supervised, but sticking an iPad in front of a child for hours on end. I mean, if you don't know that that's bad for your child, then you are too stupid to be a parent. And I am getting a little bit sick of governments needing to tell us and tell parents basics about how to raise their children, that actually they do need to go to school toilet trained. You know what? You do need to give them breakfast first. That's not up to the state. Actually, you need to make sure you earn enough money to feed and clothe those children before you make a decision to have that child. I'm sick of governments thinking that's their job. I wish people thought it was their job.
OK, all right. OK, who else wants to have a crack at this? Anyone got strong views about it?
Yeah, no, I'm a parent, so my youngest, she is 6. And as you said, we're not perfect. Sometimes the situation means we have to give them our phone or our iPad to keep them busy.
I mean, yeah, I have been guilty of that, but
And
I
I'm
don't
guilty
let
of
them
that,
do
and
it for hours on end.
Yeah, and I think any parent that denies that they do that is fibbing, right? We're not perfect, and technology is there to help us in that respect sometimes. One thing I will say, this is probably the first bit of guidance, and it is only guidance, Christo, that I agree with from this Labour government. I don't agree with Starmer or Bridget Phillipson on anything, but I do with this. It is damaging. And if my little girl has been on an iPad for an hour or two, you notice the difference in their behaviour in the following hours. So all I will say is, look, none of us are perfect parents, but do limit it because it does affect their behaviour.
Supervise it. Just supervise it and limit it, and that's absolutely reasonable. But just, I'm sorry, why do we need the government to tell us this?
Oh, all right, OK, well...
Because the reality is, Christos, that very, very young children are spending hours and hours and hours on screens, which is incredibly bad for their development. And they are arriving at school with developmental delays, with poorer vocabulary, with unable to socialise. The screen is disrupting physical activity, creative activity and sleep. And ultimately, I actually think that children and social media is the biggest mental health crisis that we have in our country, and it will become an economic crisis as well if we don't tackle it.
I would broaden that out.
I totally agree that I understand that screens are very good for children with special needs. I get that.
Absolutely. Sorry, so very quickly, mate.
I would broaden that out and say that most of us are addicted to our phones. We're having the conversation about children, but this is about adults as well. This thing, you wake up in the morning, you're scrolling over meal times, you're scrolling before bed, and...
Other than Morgan McSweeney, who apparently is...
All right. OK, all right, thank you very much. So coming up after the break, Manchester is breaking new ground, quite literally, with Britain's first LGBTQ+ housing scheme designed to offer safe, inclusive living for those in the gay community. Is this a step forward, or why do gay people need special housing? If only we had someone on the panel. Anyway,
it's not me.
It's not me.
I'm Michelle Dewberry, this is Jubes & Co with you.
Hello everyone, Patrick Christys here. GBNews,
Britain's news channel.
Access the stories that matter to you. Take the GBNews family with you on any device. And as long as you have an internet connection, tune in to GB News anywhere on the planet or beyond. GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now? No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints. How many fingers have I got up? About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show. It's not a bad brand. Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very easy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What did she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain, with our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you.
Bulletins on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Absolutely viral on social media yesterday. In Manchester, work is underway on Britain's first LGBTQ+ housing scheme.
We're here on site in Whalley Range for the UK's first LGBTQ+ majority housing scheme with 100% affordable homes. Now, you might be asking, why do we need specific housing for LGBTQ+ people?
What's the need for it? It isn't just a matter of opinion, it's based on facts and research. We need this, and Manchester is leading.
Right, she didn't go on to give any facts and research. Right, seriously, that's what cracks me up. It's like, this is based on facts and research. Do you want to tell us what it is? Or are you just going to stand there in that rainbow-coloured outfit? Anyway, so look, it's 80 social rent apartments and 40 for shared ownership. Look, why do gay people need a special home? Christo.
Well, why are you asking me? I don't know. Homes for homos. I mean, I just... No. I think they'll be tastefully decorated. There'll be lots of lovely fluffy dogs. Disco music blaring at all hours. I actually don't have a problem with that. We'll know where all the gays are. They'll all be in one place so that, you know, we can keep an eye on them. And, Patrick, this week I actually put out that I have often envisaged you and I in a pair of silk kimonos retiring to a place like this in...
Where's that come from?
I put it into AI, and that is, Patrick, that is your future.
Oh,
right there. I feel sick.
That's, you know what, to be fair, there are probably worse ways to live your life, aren't there?
And you're now ginger.
Yeah, and I'm drinking again as well.
Well, there'll be a reason you're drinking again.
Yeah, there will be, yeah. Go on, Seb, why do you think, because it's a Labour area, this, I mean, why do you think they need it, maybe?
Yeah, for me, it's about building stronger communities. And if you are of that age, if you're above 55 and you're LGBT+, you are less likely to have a partner. You're more likely to have lived with a lot of discrimination. And it's a nice way to build a community of people who have a lot in common, who need somewhere to live, who would probably be quite lonely otherwise, it seems to be quite a positive thing. I don't see where the criticism lies.
OK. Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Go on.
Sorry, Adam. I think the criticism lies in that there are 1.3 million people, as I said earlier, on the housing list, and we know there are veterans who haven't got homes. We know there are
you get gay
women.
Veterans. You get gay women.
But this,
and those people will be eligible for these homes.
Sure. But what I'm saying is housing should be given out based on need, not on
Gay people need homes as well.
On need, not on sexual orientation.
It will be given out on need. These are social homes. They will be given out on need. They will go onto a list. You know this. You would have dealt with this as an MP.
There is no need whatsoever for someone's sexual orientation to even come into it. If you agree with me, they should be on need.
Do you agree with
why not
over 55s housing?
Sort of.
Why are we allowing for age but not for sexuality?
Are you joking?
So,
are you joking with that comparison? Over 55s, many of them struggle to get around their homes. Many of them need assistance in these over 55s.
Why would exactly what these people are? They're over 55s and they also happen to be gay.
Right.
They will also struggle to get around their homes.
No, it's not that they happen to be gay. The whole scheme is on the basis that they are gay.
And over 55s. So what I'm saying is that Adam's point doesn't stand because they are just as incapable as anybody else.
I don't care. I don't care if you're gay, straight or bi. That's the way you live your life. You should have no more privileges or open doors than me or my kids. At the end of the day, I think this is discrimination and we've got a shortage of housing.
Well, Manchester City Council said that working with LGBT Foundation was basically a very good thing and it's all about inclusivity and it's a fantastic idea. Right, coming up, should Sadiq Khan be made a law?
Oh.
That's next. That's next.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good evening, I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, as we go into this weekend, there will be plenty of showers around on Saturday and then some more persistent rain to come by Sunday, and all the time a bit of a chilly feel to things. That's because there's cold air coming in from the northwest across much of the UK behind the front that is now clearing away towards the southeast. So as we go through this evening, we're seeing the cloud, the rain in the south clearing away, and then, well, yes, there's showery rain, sleet and snow affecting Scotland, Northern Ireland and some northern parts of England and Wales, but across the bulk of England and Wales it will turn largely dry with clear skies, under which we are going to see temperatures dropping quite close to freezing, perhaps even a little bit below in some places, so there will be a touch of frost in a few places first thing on Saturday morning. But actually first thing on Saturday across much of England and Wales, yes, there will be some showers in the southwest and a few showers elsewhere, but a lot of dry sunny weather to be had, but some wetter weather pushing into parts of Northern Ireland, Northern England, the far north of Wales perhaps, and also a rash of showers across much of Scotland as well. Now these showers and the bursts of rain will continue as we go through the day. In fact, they're going to become a bit more widespread, so more places at risk of seeing some bursts of rain, and there will be some further winteriness, some sleet, some snow, particularly towards the north and over modest higher ground, and there could be some hail, some thunder mixed in with any heavier showers. And do watch out for some strong gusty winds, particularly with any heavier downpours. They're going to add to the chilly feel to things. Temperatures down compared to today and feeling it in those strong winds. Then another chilly start across England and Wales on Sunday morning, starting bright but turning increasingly cloudy and wet as rain in the northwest pushes its way southeastwards. That rain could turn a bit heavy at times, and all the while it is still going to feel chilly with the cloud and rain and blustery winds around. Signs of something a little bit dry and perhaps warmer as we go into next week.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Everything you need to enjoy a super summer could be on us this year, as you could drive away with this very latest Benivan 4-berth camper van. This camper van is fully equipped with its own kitchen, bathroom, dinette and plenty of storage. We'll also get your summer sorted with a further £25,000 in tax-free cash that you could spend however you like. For another chance to win a camper van and cash, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB20 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 1st of May. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Dawdney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, you didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints. How many fingers have I got up?
About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique.
And you're fighting like rats in a sack.
But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask.
OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician.
Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as
and now you've lost it.
That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
OK, so, thank you very much to my live audience. They're a rowdy bunch tonight. It's 10 p.m. I'm Patrick Christys tonight.
And I'm going to say to my non-Muslim friends here tonight, to my Jewish friends, to my Christian friends, to my Hindu friends, to my Sikh friends, thank you.
Well, Keir Starmer is planning on putting Sadiq Khan in the House of Lords, apparently. Everyone feel quite happy about that, do you? Oh, there we go. And... Well, an Afghan small boat migrant sentenced for raping and abducting a 12-year-old schoolgirl. And actually, tomorrow's Daily Express front page, which will be... There you go, it was on the screen a second ago there. Kick out this monster and do not spend a penny. Calls now for his immediate deportation. Plus...
The idea that somehow everybody could have seen that sometime in the future there would be a request for the phone is, to my mind, a little bit far-fetched.
Well, it's a reminder for you of that breaking news from about an hour ago. Scotland Yard has confirmed they are now reviewing CCTV footage of Morgan McSweeney's phone theft. So I suppose we'll get to the bottom of it one way or the other, won't we? And have you ever seen an interview quite as bad as this?
How many frigates do we have in the fleet?
We have.
Oh, it just makes you want to put your whole fist in your mouth, doesn't it? Anyway, so also splashing on the front page of The Sun as other nations help drivers with soaring fuel costs. Apparently, Sir Keir Starmer's government is coining it in. So remember that when you pay more at the pump. Anyway, on my panel tonight, we have got journalist and broadcasting royalty Christo Fufas, former Tory MP Anna Firth. We've got everybody's favourite Labour councillor, Sebastian Sadiq. Oh, come on. And we've got businessman and activist Adam Brooks. All right. OK, get ready, Britain. Here we go. Lord Khan. Oh, sticks in the craw, doesn't it? Oh, given a peerage for failure. Next.
Good evening. Your headlines at 10 o'clock. Donald Trump says the US and Iran are negotiating now and called on Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. It's after Marco Rubio said the US expects the Iran operation to conclude within weeks, not months. Speaking after the meeting of G7 foreign ministers in France, Rubio said, "We have objectives and we're very confident we're on the verge of achieving them." Earlier, Donald Trump extended a pause on striking Iran to 10 days. This means the pause will be in effect until the 6th of April. Meanwhile, Iranian media says US-Israeli strikes have hit 2 nuclear-related facilities. Tiger Woods is in jail in Florida tonight after being arrested and charged with driving under the influence following a rollover car crash near his home on Jupiter Island. The golf star walked away from the incident and did not appear injured, but was questioned by police and later refused to submit to a urine test. Sheriff John Budensaik from the Martin County Sheriff's Office told reporters Woods had also been charged with property damage and refusal to submit to a lawful test. Donald Trump reacted, saying he feels so badly after hearing about the crash of his, quote, very close friend. Scotland Yard has reopened the investigation into the reported theft of Morgan McSweeney's phone amid growing questions over the sequence of events. That's according to the Telegraph newspaper. Detectives are understood to be examining CCTV footage from the street where the former Number 10 Chief of Staff claims that he was robbed. The alleged theft of Mr McSweeney's mobile phone means messages he shared with the disgraced peer Lord Mandelson in the run-up to his appointment as ambassador to the US are likely to have been permanently lost. The Met Police have taken steps to reassure the Jewish community ahead of multiple demonstrations set to take place in London this weekend. The Together Alliance March will form up in Park Lane and march into Whitehall. A separate demonstration organised by the Palestine Coalition will form up at the southern end of Exhibition Road and join the route of the Together Alliance March. It comes less than a week after an arson attack on a Jewish charity ambulance in Golders Green. Kemi Badenoch is considering a ban on burqas in an attempt to tackle Islamist extremism, according to The Telegraph. Chris Philp, the Shadow Home Secretary, and his Justice counterpart are understood to be looking closely at the merits of a ban as part of a review on Islamism. The Telegraph understands that Mr Philp is concerned that the full-body garment can be divisive, work against integration and foster extremism. Those are the latest GB News headlines. Now it's back to Patrick.
Tune into GB News Radio wherever you are. Online, on DAB digital radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player, on Nation Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Thank you very much, everybody who's made the trip to be here this evening. Well, Keir Starmer is reportedly planning on putting Sadiq Khan in the House of Lords. For what? Services to the world's largest iftar?
We have tonight, by the way, not just the biggest iftar taking place in London, not just the biggest iftar in Europe, not just the biggest iftar in the continent of Europe, but the biggest iftar in Western world.
Yay! OK, maybe it's for constantly banging on about Ramadan?
And tonight, once again, London is shining bright as a beacon of hope, unity and inclusivity. Ramadan is a sacred time. It's a time to recommit to our faith, give to those in need.
Maybe it's for not knowing about the grooming gangs?
So are you saying we haven't got the same sort of gangs that are in Rotherham, Bradford and lots of other places in the country?
Just for a misunderstanding, what does she mean by that?
You know full well what I mean by that. It's all over the television. You know exactly what I mean by that. These gangs of people that are grooming young girls for sex. Do we actually have those in London?
I'm unclear, Chair, what is meant by the question. If you could spell it out, I can answer.
Maybe it's for, despite previously working as the lawyer for the Nation of Islam and trying to overturn a visa ban for this man who's going to be on your screen right now, Louis Farrakhan. It was banned because of anti-Semitic rhetoric, like saying that Hitler was a great man. Anyway, despite doing all of that, Khan obviously argued as a lawyer that the visa ban against Farrakhan was against his right to a freedom of expression. But so he argued that, wanted to overturn the visa ban for this guy as a lawyer. Anyway, he obviously wanted Trump's visit to the UK to be cancelled, and he gave the go-ahead for this.
Slowly but surely you can see the Trump limp to muted cheers, it has to be said at the moment, but slowly but surely just rising into the air.
Yeah, maybe it's time to put him in the House of Lords for that. Maybe it's for everything Sadiq Khan has done to fight crime. Increased by 19% in 2025. Phone snatching, 61,331 devices nabbed in 2025. Can add another one to them with Morgan McSweeney, can't we? Knife crime hit a 10-year high in 2024 to 2025. And shockingly, reports show that there is a rape reported in London every hour. So what a great job Sadiq Khan's done, eh? Fantastic. And maybe he's getting a peerage for stopping those London Underground strikes. You know, he said he would. He said, under me, there'll be no strikes on London Underground. There have been 149 strike days under Sadiq Khan. That is more than Boris Johnson and Ken Livingstone combined. Maybe he's got a peerage because he did such a good job with London's nightlife. He appointed a nightlife czar. 130k a year the Tsar got. Well, Nighttime Industries Association says that more than 1,000 late-night venues in London have closed in the last 3 years alone. And that's before, of course, we've even mentioned you, Les. Oh, maybe it's because he's really brought Londoners together. You know, our capital city now, it's just like one big happy community of friends, isn't it? If Sadiq Khan gets into the House of Lords, can you imagine how insufferable he's going to be? This was him after he was knighted. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, there you go. He said that the king apologised to him for taking so long to knight him. That's what he said. He came out and he said, the king actually apologised to me for taking so long to knight me. I mean, ugh, come on. The rumours are that Khan isn't just going to be given a peerage, he's going to get a cabinet position as well. Look, for me, Sadiq Khan is the perfect example of someone who can just fall upwards in life, thanks to our wonderful non-racist country, and then still spend half his life moaning about racism. But let's get thoughts on my panel on this. Yeah, I mean, Christys, I know you've got strong views on Sadiq Khan, your views on the old peerage.
Yeah, I do have some strong feelings about Sadiq Khan. I hate him. Honestly, I really do. There's literally probably a couple of politicians in my life I've absolutely viscerally loathed, and he is one of them. We have the highest knife crime offences in history. We have the highest crime rate in London in history. It's gone up every single reported year other than the COVID year. The thefts are the highest they've ever been. Sexual offences are the highest they've ever been. As you have just seen, he denied existence of the Pakistani Muslim grooming gangs as we've seen in the north of England because he was desperate, wasn't he, for Susan Hall to outline their ethnicity so that he could cry racism. Why? Because Sadiq Khan loves racism. He loves the far right because he needs them, because without them, he has got nothing else. Meanwhile, nightlife. dead. You cannot drive anywhere in London because it is complete and utter gridlock, and he still fleeces motorists in every single way possible, with the ultra-low emission zone, with putting up the congestion charge. Now he wants to charge you for having a family car, for having a small SUV that you've probably just bought to get away from the ultra-low emission zone. He causes division right, left and centre. He is the most repellent little runt in politics. He is everything but wrong with this country. And I would not be sticking him in the House of Lords. I won't tell you where I'd like to stick him.
OK. But apart from that, right, he's doing OK, isn't he? Seb, you, I think, take a different view on Sadiq Khan.
I take a contrasting view, shall we say. Sadiq Khan is, by every measure, a very successful politician.
Hilarious.
He's been re-elected. He's been elected 3 times.
That doesn't mean he's good at his job.
That means the public in London want him, and I want him. I'm very proud to live in a London where Sadiq Khan is our mayor. He's brought down air quality. Our children are breathing better. He's improved air quality. He's brought down rates of PO2 and all the rest of it. He has improved crime. The murder rates have drastically fallen.
That's the only one. I mean, is that the benchmark? No, genuinely, Sebastian, is that the benchmark?
It's not a game. Crime is not a game,
of a successful city that you don't get murdered.
So where do we think the crime capital of the UK is?
Seb,
where do we think the crime
he's
capital of the UK is?
He's talking a great fiction at the moment.
It's not London. It's Cleveland. Where do we think the sexual violence of the capital of the UK is? It is also Cleveland.
But they're still going up.
Where do we think the murder capital of the UK is? It's Lincolnshire. Where do we think the knife crime capital of the UK is? It's the West Midlands. London, a city of 9 million people, is none of those. It is a diverse, cosmopolitan city. It's not perfect, but it's our city, and I'm very proud to live here. I'm very proud to have
stats are going up year after year after year.
But they're not, though.
They are.
They're not.
They absolutely are.
Well,
I've got them here.
Let me just say now, I work in London 3-4 times a week. If you honestly believe that London is safe, you are away with the fairies, Sebastian.
I live in London every day. I wake up in London, I go to sleep in London, I work in London.
It is not safe.
I am safe.
I'll tell you what now. Go and ask the average woman on the street of London or in Essex, where I'm from, if they feel safe in London. The majority will say they do not. And the stats back that up. There is a rape reported every 57 minutes.
There are women in every town of this country that would tell.
Oh, that's all right then.
No, that's not all right then. Please don't put words into my mouth. But this is not a London problem.
Right. There's a chap... But just before we go to you, Anna, because I want to introduce this gentleman on the front row who's got a microphone and a point to make, I believe. What did I say, sir?
I just wanted to ask the panel, do you feel that this is just another desperate attempt by the Labour Party to pander to the Muslim vote by putting Khan in the House of Lords?
I think they're trolling us. I honestly think Keir Starmer now is at the point where he knows they're going to be out of power and they're going to do as much damage as they can while they're in power. Look, as Christo said, I despise Keir Starmer, everything that he stands for, and I despise Sadiq Khan. I think they're 2 of the worst politicians that we've had in decades. And it seems like they want to wind up the average Brit as much as they can before they're out of power.
Go on,
no, I mean, what this is an attempt to put someone, to cosy up to somebody. Keir Starmer's weak. Khan has been one of his biggest critics. Khan backed Burnham, remember, and to take over from Starmer. And Starmer is cozying up to him. But this is the biggest reward for failure that I think we've seen so far this year, if this happens. You know, this is a man who's put your taxes up in London. He's put the cost of driving your car up in London. He's put your train fares up. He's put your rents up. He's put cameras absolutely everywhere. And he's put...
What rents? What taxes?
If you're renting in London, Sebastian, your rents have gone up.
Yes, Sadiq Khan has not put those up. They're dictated by the private market.
Because he hasn't managed to build any of the housing that he said he was... Well, he hasn't managed to build the housing in the numbers that he said he was going to.
Built a third of what he promised before the election.
Yeah. Affordable housing starts were a record in some years.
Starts being the operative word, and those are where the figures come from. How many were finished?
Christo, you cannot control the housing market. If a developer wants to stop building something, they can and they will.
Well, hang on a minute. Who agrees with me this is the biggest reward for failure ever if he gets a peerage?
Do you think, from a political sense, why do you think Keir Starmer is well, strongly rumoured to be doing this. Why do you think? What's in it for Starmer?
And that's crucial. It is just a rumour here. It's a couple of newspapers reporting. We don't know whether this is true. I think he wants him in the tent. Sadiq Khan is in a position politically where he can say largely what he wants. He can speak his mind, which is why he's outspoken about Brexit, he's outspoken about Trump, and he speaks for many of us Londoners, and it's brilliant he can do that. But by making him appear, you then get him onto the government payroll, and it's easier for him to align with what Starmer wants. So it's a strategic...
He's buying him off. He's buying him off.
in politics every day.
With public money, and he's devaluing one of our key institutions. You know, there are lots of people in the House of Lords who actually are real experts in their fields, previous prime ministers, professors of medicine, professors of law, and they really add something. They do a lot of hard work. But if you put failures into the House of Lords, you destroy the reputation
He's a successful solicitor and a 3-time mayor of London. I wouldn't call that a failure by any stretch. He will make a big contribution
well,
in the
I
Lords.
think that the audience disagree with you, Sebastian.
They do disagree, but I'm not going to take a GB News audience, with all respect, as a poll of the country or indeed an arbiter of truth.
He's also he's a climate extremist. He puts this climate change, he forces it on us. Yet in 2015 he said he'd plant 2 million trees. He's planted 500,000. So he doesn't really care that much. He's not good at his job. He doesn't keep promises.
Is that your argument, Adam? Trees?
No, yes, trees.
One of the arguments...
Sadiq Khan is a bad mayor because trees?
Well, why promise to plant 2 million and then plant a quarter of that when you are a climate extremist?
Angry about that?
Yeah, I am. Don't make promises that you can't keep.
OK, well, I'll give you something else then. Knife crime was 16,344 were reported knife and sharp instrument offences in 24-25, compared with 15,016 in the previous year. That's the highest number of knife crime offences reported in London during that provided time period. That's directly from the Met Police. The crime rate in London was 106.4 crime offences per 1,000 people for 24-25, compared with 105.8 from the previous year. That's the crime rate going up, again, directly from the Met Police. So the knife crime statistics you've quoted me there are hard numbers. I will ask you to question what happened to London's population during that time. It went up. Of course, if you have a bigger city, you're going to have more crimes.
It's up 80% since 2015, knife crime. I'm a knife crime activist, OK?
That doesn't tally with the figures that Christos just given me, so which one of you is right?
In a decade...
Which one of you is right?
It's up
Argue amongst
80%
yourselves.
in a decade.
I just gave you crime figures as well per 1,000 people, so whatever the population is, the crime is going up proportionately,
yes,
Sebastian.
Because of issues like phone snatching and shoplifting, the murder rate, the serious crimes, they're coming down.
So phone snatching... You would literally, just arguing before, by the way, that Morgan McSweeney's phone was stolen, so now at least we agree that that maybe that's not true. But also, I'm sorry, like, just because it is perhaps what would be considered low-level crime doesn't mean it's not crime that affects people. Of course it's not.
I deal with this every day. I have residents talking to me about it. But if you said which one do you want to come down, phone snatching or murder, I'm going to choose murder every day of the week.
I'd like all crimes to come down,
maybe. So would I.
Sebastian, did you know that 40% of all phones snatched in Europe happen in London? 40%.
I'm sure you're right.
We are the capital of phone theft in the Western world.
I'm sure you're right. I agree with you. It's a problem.
So he's fouled. Right? So he's fouled as a mayor.
Is that really your definition of failure?
Well,
on that basis, how could anyone possibly succeed as a mayor?
Knife crime, phone theft, yeah, violence.
All right. Just take it from a man who lives in London, Adam. It's a great place to be.
Safer streets was one of his promises. He has not delivered it. Another promise broken.
Do we actually think, just lastly on this, Sebastian, do you actually think Sadiq Khan should take this if it's offered to him? Because, I mean, you mentioned there a load of reasons why he's got a lot of freedom at the minute.
Yeah.
And actually, why would he want to face accusations of being bought off, basically?
I think if he does it, he has to be careful about the sequencing. What I don't necessarily want to see is him being the mayor and sitting in the Lords at the same time. If he wants to move on and join the Lords, he would be a great asset. But doing the two jobs at once, I don't know if it's
There's no precedent. I had a look at this before. So, look, I'm willing to be corrected on this. I Googled it. Apparently, there's nothing legally stopping you being a cabinet minister in the Lords and the mayor of London at the same time. So, technically, I suppose he could do it, but there is no precedent for it. No one's ever done it.
And his ego would love that. He's such an egotistical...
The problem is he'd put a cycle lane through the House of Lords.
Right.
That's the other thing he'd do.
Yes, let's have it.
That's a solution to everything.
In reference to Sadiq Khan's relation to Louis Farrakhan, who I mentioned there earlier on, who was being given a visa ban, Mr Khan has previously defended his role in that legal bid to try to overturn that visa ban. He said with an interview with GBNews, "I've never hidden the fact that I was a human rights lawyer. Unfortunately, that means that I had to speak on behalf of some unsavoury individuals. Some of their views made me feel deeply uncomfortable, but it was my job." And in relation to crime in London, Sadiq Khan has said, "We've seen a number of politicians here and across the globe talking down London and spreading misinformation about crime and safety in the capital." He said this while pointing to official data showing that violent crime with injury had fallen across every borough as a rebuttal to claims that crime was out of control. Right, we've got a lot more to get through tonight, so I really want to crack on with that. However, I do need to tell you about the latest Great British giveaway, don't I? Yeah, so here's how you can be in it to win it.
It's a prize package worth over £92,000 and it could be all yours in our very latest Great British giveaway. There's a totally tax-free £25,000 in cash that you'll be able to spend on anything you like this year. Plus, you'll also get to drive away in a brand new Benevan 122 camper van. Courtesy of Marquis Leisure, this latest 2026 model comes fully loaded with everything you'd expect. You can even drive it on your existing driving licence. Plus, it comfortably sleeps 4 people. Make sure you don't miss out on the biggest prize package of the year so far. For another chance to win a camper van and cash, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB20 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 1st of May. The winner may be contacted live after all entry routes have closed. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
OK, so when we come back, look, I know this is a story that's going to get a lot of people going. Fury tonight as claims emerge that key evidence linked to the grooming gangs could possibly have been destroyed. We'll tell you all the details on that when we come back.
Every week, there are stories that shape the national conversation.
We'll be discussing that.
And on Saturday Morning Live, we break them down.
Is that true? This is fascinating, isn't it?
The politics, the headlines, the debates everyone's talking about.
And the questions that you want answered. Do you think that was a legitimate attack for him to make?
What led you to set up this fantastic movement?
You know what? It's a great question, Olivia.
So what are you waiting for?
Your weekend starts here. Saturdays at 10 a.m, only on GB News.
This is GB News, Britain's news channel.
Britain's pothole problem is spiralling. According to car repair company QuickFit, damage caused by potholes has cost drivers a staggering £1.7 billion. And here in Wales, many drivers say the situation is becoming a nightmare. The Welsh Government says it's repaired 171,000 potholes across the country so far. But here in the city of Newport, some locals are not convinced.
We have some really giant potholes in Newport, and I'm really concerned we could end up with some fatalities at night with people riding on motorbikes and cycles. So it's a real big issue for people in Newport, and it's in a really bad state.
And it's not just city streets feeling the strain. In rural areas, residents often have no alternative routes, meaning potholes are almost impossible to avoid. Nigel Hallett is the chair of Michelstone of Vedu Community Council and says rural communities face a different set of challenges. Newport Council says it's paid out nearly £25,000 in compensation, but some residents say their claims are still being refused, including one woman whose husband was left with a £350 repair bill.
We tried to claim with the council. Initially, one letter went off, standard letter return to say, no, you didn't tell us that the fault was there before you hit it, so we can't pay any claims out. So he's just back and forth constantly now.
The council says it understands residents' frustrations and has made road maintenance a major priority in its budget. Alongside a £6.6 million resurfacing programme already underway, it says more than £20 million is being invested in Newport's roads between 2025 and 27.
GB News, the People's Channel.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. So, look, this has been probably the biggest story, I think, of modern times, and there's a new development to it. The Home Office delays may have led to crucial evidence relating to the grooming gangs being destroyed. So Dame Karen Bradley has written to Shabana Mahmood now, demanding an explanation after civil servants took 7 months to ask police and other departments to preserve rape gang documents. This includes local councils, right? So last June, Baroness Casey, who did the initial review into the grooming gangs, urged the Home Office to ensure all records on grooming gangs were retained. But, according to a Freedom of Information request, nobody got around to telling them this until mid-January, which obviously, as anyone will think, gives people a long time to buy an industrial shredder and put a load of stuff that you don't want getting into the public domain into it. Can I go straight to a member of the audience on this one, I think, if that's all right? There's a gentleman on the front row of the microphone. What do you think about this, sir? How do you feel when you hear this story?
Well, to be honest, from my perspective, it would be stupid to destroy any evidence. I think in future we might have national inquiry into scandal, and then suddenly we would be scratching our heads. Hold on a second, we do not have enough data or evidence. And I think more importantly, I think we owe it to the next generation. As Adam said, in another 50 years, if we want to actually run a research to understand maybe 50 years ago, within a period of time, are there any correlations between, I don't know, a very drastic social phenomenon like illegal immigration and maybe increase or decrease in sex crime, we should have strong data to maybe make informed decisions or even draw conclusions. And so from my perspective, it would be stupid.
Yeah, I suppose the idea would be that if they didn't want it coming out, then they might have taken the opportunity to destroy it. So we can't get that kind of information, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, Anna, what's your view on the possibility, at least, that some of these councils and police forces might have had 7 months to start shredding?
I think this is yet another example of a government that is utterly, completely incompetent, and this is such a disgrace, and it's such a disgrace for the people who really deserve and need this inquiry to happen. You know, this is such a stain. This is a complete stain on our society that this has happened, and it must be investigated. And you know, this is just so typical. You know, this is a government that when there's a problem in the Middle East that they knew was coming, moves the one battleship we had there away, rather than making sure we have battleships there. Government, they don't even know how many frigates we've got. Do you remember Steve Reed, when he gave an interview, didn't even know how many houses they were building? You know, a government that talks about growth hasn't delivered any growth, or growth so negligent, so minuscule you practically wouldn't notice it. You know, this is a complete shambles of a government, but this is a disgrace.
Well, so you seem to be going off the idea that this is cock-up, not conspiracy, whereas there is another way of looking at it, which I suspect, Adam, you do, which is that this could maybe have been a deliberate attempt to allow people to delete things they didn't want.
This is not, as you said, incompetence. This is on purpose, and this is a corrupt government that are trying to cover their tracks. The Labour Party, going back 20 years, are up to their necks in this grooming and rape gang scandal. That's why they were kicking and screaming into a rape gang inquiry. Still, we haven't had any meaningful inquiry or progress on this. Let's remember, this is probably the biggest scandal of our lifetimes. Young British girls were being groomed and raped simply because of the colour of their skin and that they were poor. And they were covered up because our authorities did not want to be deemed as racist or labelled. Any other ethnicity, if the victims were a different ethnicity, this would never have been covered up. Because they were white, it was covered up. Now, look, I personally think we need a corruption inquiry, because this government cannot keep doing this. Lost phones, shredded documents. For me, there's too much to be a, what's the word? A coincidence. It cannot be a coincidence. We are looking in real time as the most corrupt government in the last 50 or 100 years.
OK, so just on that, I mean, GBNews obviously did some research, and this was picked up by The Telegraph, The Times, etc. We identified at least 50 towns and cities across Britain that were grooming gang hotspots, right? And I'm just looking at them all here. I mean, the overwhelming majority of these are Labour areas, right? They just are, and it encompasses about 85 different local authorities. Again, the overwhelming majority of those are in Labour areas. So I suppose, Sebastian, you know, it's easy for people to jump to the conclusion that if you decide to conveniently not remind them that they're not supposed to be deleting any of this evidence or shredding it, that it might be quite useful to help with some form of cover-up.
Yes, but also I subscribe to the view that if it is a choice between cock-up and conspiracy, it's almost always cock-up. I've seen how the public sector runs.
So naive.
I think it's probably an issue of status. That you say that, Adam, and it's quite insulting of you to call me out naive.
Well, I don't care. You're naive if you think that
You've given your opinion. Do you have any evidence whatsoever to back it up?
Shredding documents, losing phones.
OK,
Look,
that's a no. Right, let's move on.
Well, let's do it on probability.
Hang on.
The probability. Come on.
Please indulge me.
If you go and ask the majority of this country, they will probably say that this is a corrupt government.
Once again, Adam, we don't get evidence from asking people for their opinions.
We don't get any evidence from this Labour government because they shred it.
The thing is, Adam... And you produce no evidence we could even consider shredding, because you say things without basis time and time again. This is yet another example, and it will get you applause and it will get you retweets, but it won't get you any credibility.
You're so naive.
But can I just...
And you can call me rude things as much as you like.
It's not a rude
But the fact is, you're saying things that have no basis in truth.
But hang on, Sebastian, would you agree, though, that if Robbie Moore, representing Keighley, hadn't sounded the alarm in December when he realised that his council had received no instruction to retain the evidence, then this instruction might not even have been given now.
Oh, quite possibly, quite possibly. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that there's some massive conspiracy theory at the top of government.
Just look briefly, all right. You and I know, right, all of us here, I know Maggie Oliver, most of us know Maggie Oliver, who had to resign because of the fact that when she was a detective, she lost everything, by the way. You know, her home and everything, her pension, because she whistle blew the fact that she was told that the investigation was not continuing. I've spoken to MPs who were told, look, stop looking into this because of community cohesion. Exactly. So, look, fine. You know, you're asking for evidence of items being shredded. We have enough anecdotal evidence from people who were at the top that were told, stop looking into this because it is going to inflame community tensions, that it's not the biggest leap to then think, well, actually, is there a deliberate attempt to suppress evidence? Or worse, could it almost be as well? I mean, I'm not averse to thinking this, that it wasn't even conspiracy. They just care so little about working-class white girls that the evidence was just inconsequential. Because it is of so little interest to getting to the bottom of this by some of these councils.
Just final word on this, Sebastian. I mean, if Labour do really seriously care about this issue as much as they're now saying they do, you would have thought that they would have, especially with a lawyer in charge now, in the shape of Keir Starmer, that they would have made sure that they at least copper-bottomed it by messaging all these councils, local authorities, and saying, do not get rid of any evidence. And that didn't happen, did it?
No, it didn't. But let's remind ourselves, this is the only government that has issued an inquiry, which is very important. I'm pleased it's happening, and we gloss over that far too quickly.
Well, hang on, only because Kemi Badenoch kept banging on about it and wouldn't let him get away with it.
You had 14 years to do this, and you didn't in government.
And GB putting on the pressure, by the way. GB put on the pressure. They could not say no to an inquiry.
All right, OK. Yeah, just say, look, obviously what we're talking about here is the idea that given 7 months or so, you know, it's the fear is that they could have been shredding a load of evidence and documentation and stuff. We will have to wait and see whether or not that indeed has happened. We don't know for sure at the moment, but that's where we are at the minute. Right, look, when we come back, I want to... Oh, sorry, I've got a statement from the Home Office. Yay. Baroness Casey's national audit has the power to order the production of documents, and failure to comply with such an order without reasonable excuse is an offence punishable by imprisonment. There you go. Right, I want to know how safe people feel now, generally, because in the last few weeks our eyes have been opened a little bit, I think, about the state of the British military, hasn't it? Or lack of, with tensions rising in the Middle East. I want to know how prepared we are for war and whether or not people here feel safe. And I will be playing you as well John Healey's car crash interview, so stay tuned for that. All right.
I forecast a perfect holiday in the sun.
Weather looking good then?
For sure, and no worries about our travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GBNews Travel Destinations Forecast.
Are you heading away for a bit of sunshine? Well, Storm Deborah continues to bring very wet weather to parts of Italy and the Mediterranean. Meanwhile, high pressure dominates across more western areas of Europe, across the Canary Islands and Madeira too. Plenty of sunshine across Spain and southern areas of France. But here's Storm Deborah bringing hill snow as well as wet weather and windy weather across Italy and towards the Mediterranean, including Croatia, throughout the start of this weekend at least. It does turn drier into next week though. Bye-bye.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GBNews Travel Destinations Forecast.
Good evening, I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, as we go into this weekend, there will be plenty of showers around on Saturday and then some more persistent rain to come by Sunday, and all the time a bit of a chilly feel to things. That's because there's cold air coming in from the northwest across much of the UK behind the front that is now clearing away towards the southeast. So as we go through this evening, we're seeing the cloud, the rain in the south clearing away, and then, well, yes, there's showery rain, sleet and snow affecting Scotland, Northern Ireland and some northern parts of England and Wales, but across the bulk of England and Wales it will turn largely dry with clear skies, under which we are going to see temperatures dropping quite close to freezing, perhaps even a little bit below in some places, so there will be a touch of frost in a few places first thing on Saturday morning. But actually first thing on Saturday across much of England and Wales, yes, there will be some showers in the southwest and a few showers elsewhere, but a lot of dry sunny weather to be had, but some wetter weather pushing into parts of Northern Ireland, Northern England, the far north of Wales perhaps, and also a rash of showers across much of Scotland as well. Now these showers and the bursts of rain will continue as we go through the day. In fact, they're going to become a bit more widespread, so more places at risk of seeing some bursts of rain, and there will be some further winteriness, some sleet, some snow, particularly towards the north and over modest higher ground, and there could be some hail, some thunder mixed in with any heavier showers. And do watch out for some strong gusty winds, particularly with any heavier downpours. They're going to add to the chilly feel to things. Temperatures down compared to today and feeling it in those strong winds. Then another chilly start across England and Wales on Sunday morning, starting bright but turning increasingly cloudy and wet as rain in the northwest pushes its way southeastwards. That rain could turn a bit heavy at times, and all the while it is still going to feel chilly with the cloud and rain and blustery winds around. Signs of something a little bit drier and perhaps warmer as we go into next week.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Welcome back. So, talking to a top former military commander. The British Army is currently so depleted it could only seize a small market town on a good day. So that's magnificent. Our Defence Secretary John Healey did not exactly inspire confidence yesterday. You know, there's a big war going on. We're all thinking, oh gosh, well, at least we've got a Defence Secretary who knows what he's on about.
How many frigates do we have in the fleet?
We have 17 frigates and destroyers.
Oh, gosh. I mean, it sounded a little bit like Gareth Gates' first Pop Idol audition, that, didn't it? I mean, thanks for that, John. Cheers, mate. So living in a country with an army that could just about hold Skipton, led by a Defence Secretary who struggled to remember the size of his own naval fleet, I am asking, do you feel safe, given what's going on? Do people feel safe here now? No? No? Was the chap on the front row who's got quite a steely look in his eyes here? I'm wondering whether you're going to keep us all safe, actually, maybe. Go on, what do you think about what we're seeing here?
Well, good evening, first of all. I went to ask the feelings of the panel tonight. I mean, in 1982, we were invaded by the Falkland Islands, General Galtieri. Yeah. And with no debate, with no discussion, there was a task force sent down there to rescue our comrades, to rescue the public, British public that were on there, and to take back what is ours. Now, do we feel confident that we could do that today?
Well, no. Well, we can't. We couldn't. I mean, we couldn't. I mean, this is the point, isn't it? But go on, who wants to go first?
I'll go. Look, we're borrowing warships off of Germany. I said online a couple of days ago, it's lucky that we've got a nuclear deterrent because we haven't really got a navy that isn't in the maintenance yards or stuck in dock. I think we're a global embarrassment now, and I think Donald Trump has highlighted that to the world now. The world knows that we're weak. But one thing, how are we going to hire more soldiers, more people in the Navy? How are we going to hire that when we have a Labour government and a Prime Minister that wants to see our veterans prosecuted for things that happened 20, 30, 40 years ago? Who is going to want to fight for this country when they know that a left-wing government will probably drag them through the courts? I think they're a disgrace. And what the Tories did to our military and our military hardware is a disgrace. And Keir Starmer over the last 2 years has carried that on, if not accelerated it. What? So, look, it's the Uniparty that has destroyed our military capability. Before we go to other panellists, another gentleman who wants to ask a question or make a point on this, I think, as well, so...
Hi, Patrick. A little bit of what was just said before, but something to enlarge on, which I'd like to ask Mr Sadiq in a minute about, yeah? OK. Donald Trump's described our backup forces now as something like an excerpt from Toys R Us, OK? Yeah. The military commanders have said we are under-equipped and not capable of fighting a war. There's no point in enlarging on the other things, but this is the important thing that nobody thinks about. This government has distanced itself from the USA massively. There is an imminent threat. People can't ignore it, that Russia could advance. If they did, there's going to be conscription. If conscription comes in, one, is the youth of today aware of the fact that you don't fight a war on a laptop? They're going to get conscripted. They're going to get trained. They're going to get made into soldiers or whatever. But more important, and this is the question that I want to ask this chap here, and I want an honest answer, not a Keir Starmer one. All right, OK? Well, you know right, great. Well, let's answer this question. If this conscription is brought in, our youth is going to get inducted into the army and the navy and everything else and trained. Yeah, come on. When they do, who is going to stay behind? What's going to happen to all the illegal immigrants who are living in properties in the UK? None of them are going to get conscripted. Are they going to keep our women company while we're all out fighting for the country? All right. That's the question I want to ask you.
So there's lots to come back to. Thanks for your question. I'm slightly confused. Why are we getting conscripted?
Well, if we got conscripted...
War breaks out, you will do.
Yeah.
Which war?
This one with Russia, my friend.
So if Russia invades Britain...
If Russia expands, we could have conscription. Our own military commanders have said it could be by 2027. And it's so good pansying about.
Hang on. Can I just help you, sir? Because you're right. 53% of the general public believe there is going to be some sort of world war in the next 10 to 15 years.
I see.
Who's going to fight it? You won't have the refugees and the boat people fighting. They'll all be sat in the nice rented accommodation, getting the bills paid and having a great time and looking after our women while our soldiers have to go out and do it. That's a fact.
OK. Yeah, I mean, I can answer that quite honestly. I have absolutely no idea what would happen. I haven't.
Would you be comfortable with that?
About World War III.
Would you be comfortable with the illegal immigrants in this country staying here while we all go off to
fight? To be honest, Adam, it's such a hypothetical situation, I'm not even going to go into it.
Right, okay,
getting into a war is not hypothetical. You've got it in Iran, you've got it in Russia, you've got it in Ukraine. It's on the doorstep, my friend.
OK.
And you have to have conscription if you do.
You don't have to have conscription.
Would you not worry about women's rights?
Yeah. OK, all right. Well, look, there's obviously a lot of strong points. I mean, I think the context to this as well is that at the moment of the standing army that is ready to fight, it's numbered at about 55,000. So that's probably why I think there's concerns over the potential of conscription.
I'll just quickly say it's a good job that we've got America to back us up, and we've been doing so well with our relations with them lately.
OK.
Yay.
We've got to go. We've got to go. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Right, OK, look. Well, I wanted to go. OK, good stuff. I wanted to go because we need to leave enough time to crown this week's Greatest Britain Union Jackass. So there we go. We'll be doing that when we come back.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain, with our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you. Bulletins on GB News,
the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
Welcome back to Breakfast. With a very special guest.
We have a special guest. It's not Paul Kite, sorry.
No,
Paul.
that's OK, fine.
Oh, it's Monty.
Oh, look.
Hello, Monties.
Hello, darling.
How are you? Welcome to GB News. He's going to be our GB News dog.
Is he?
He's part of the family.
Are you part of the family, darling?
Yeah, everybody's come in to see him.
Darling.
He's been such a good boy, hasn't he?
He really has. He's unbelievable. And also, I don't know, are you going to say that he's been on your lap for like the last half an hour?
On my lap for the last half an hour.
And he's not.
That was going to be our little secret.
He's
but you were very
so
good, weren't
quiet,
you?
And he's been as good as gold.
Yeah.
Look at such a gorgeous little boy.
Oh.
You've been so good, haven't you?
For those of you on the radio, he's a tiny, tiny, tiny miniature dasher.
Yeah.
Golden.
Yes, he is,
golden.
and he's very fluffy. And I gave him a good wash, so he's all clean for GB News.
He's just so good. Cute.
He's been a good boy, so he's going to sit with us as we do the sport. So if you spot his little head, that's who it is. This is Monty, our new member of the family.
Hello, darling.
There he is. We need to get him a nice little GB News collar.
We do.
I don't
know
like
if
to
we've
be
got those
funny,
on the-
but this is going to be really tricky for
I know.
Is it?
I know.
Go on, then.
Do you want to
Try.
hold him as you do the sport?
Oh, spot.
Look, Coytie's in love.
Come on then, I'll just take
There you
it.
go.
You know what's going
You
to
hold
happen.
him.
I'm going to end up dropping him. Oh, it's OK, sweetheart. Come on.
There we go.
You're OK.
He loves Uncle Paul.
Oh,
and he's a Spurs fan as well.
There.
He's watched lots of Spurs.
So Liverpool beat Galatasaray 4-0. Who would have thought? Honestly. They were 1-0 down after the first leg, and then 3 goals. Yes, I know. Isn't that crazy? Yes. So they played PSG. I don't mind. You know what? I don't care about dog licks.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that, because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Stop. You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
All right. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Thank you to my wonderful audience. Got people in from South Wales, from Lincolnshire, from all over the place. So thank you very, very much. Right, but it's time for Greatest Britain Union Jackass. Going to start with Greatest Britain, and it's Christo's Greatest Britain to get the ball rolling. So
yeah, it's a bit of a downer. I'm sorry, but I absolutely love the show that she's on, and I think that she was absolutely brilliant on it. And it's an honorary, posthumous one. Mel Schilling, the dating expert from Married at First Sight, who literally 11 days after saying they can't do any more for my cancer, sadly died this week, and they're still showing her show. So, her.
I was watching. I was actually... I've been... Married at First Sight is one of the... shows that I am forced to watch sometimes at home. And the trade-off for that is that I get to watch the football at the weekends, right? So, but I didn't realise how many series of Married at First Sight there is.
There are 13.
Yeah, I know.
And that's aside from the UK version as well, which is... And then there's a New Zealand version, and then there is the American...
Never seen
sick of it. We're getting enough of it at home. Right, go on. Anna's Greatest Britain.
So I've got... This might be a controversial one. I've gone for Kaylee, who is the 20-year-old Californian woman who has this week sued Meta and Google and successfully won damages and proved that their platforms, Insta and Facebook, are designed to hook young children. And this is a turning point, in my opinion. She's very brave.
OK, all right. Adam, your Greatest Britain?
Mine is the Olympic Committee. Finally, they've seen sense. I didn't agree with them before, but now women's sports are for actual women only. Not pretend women, not these trans women, actual women. Fairness and safety has prevailed.
All right. And Seb, your Greatest Britain?
Well, this week we learned that a man known to us all, Mr. Matthew Goodwin, has written a book that contains quotes that are a little bit made up, so much so that he's agreed to go back and correct some of them. And the man who uncovered that is the sometime occupant of this chair, Mr. Andy Twelves, and he's my Greatest Britain for this week.
Good stuff. OK, yes, well, there was that debate, wasn't there, on Jubes and Co, hosted by Miriam earlier on today. OK, let's take a quick vote on this then. So, Greatest Britain, anyone? Andy Twelves?
Go on, treat yourself.
There you go. And what about the Olympic Committee for their role on gender? What about Kaylee, the person who won the Meta case? Yeah, there's a couple of very strong views. What about Mel Schilling, the sadly passed away? Okay, I think it's the Olympic Committee have won this week. Right.
Thank you. I'd go for that.
Well done, well done. Right, let's do Union Jackass. We're going to have to be very quick. Go on, Christo, very quick.
The BBC for dropping a repair shop episode because there was about Bob Monkhouse, and one of the production crew heard a joke about a mother-in-law and got offended, so they didn't do it. Bob Monkhouse is a legend.
OK, quickly, Anna.
Met Police for deploying about 20 police officers to Parsons Green on the 5th of March, where they were pulling over people cycling to work because they'd gone when the amber light was on. Biggest number of police that's been seen in Parsons Green, and they're not getting people who are stealing bikes, they're not getting people who are stealing phones, they're getting people who are going to work.
OK, all right. Adam, your Union Jackass?
My Union Jackass is Sadiq Khan. Sadiq Khan should not be rewarded with a peership for being a failure and a liar, in my opinion.
All right, Seb?
Patrick, we love a rural miscreant. We have the Somerset Gimp.
I remember the Somerset Gimp, yes.
And now we have, up in Yorkshire, the Sauvignon Blanc fly tipper. My Jackass of the week, because you shouldn't be throwing bottles of wine around.
No.
Oh, that was a quiet night for you during your dark times, wasn't it, Patrick?
It's actually me. No, I don't know if we need to take much of a vote on this, because I think the Union Jackass quite clearly is Sadiq Khan, from what I can gather. All of my panel, it's been a wonderful show. Thank you as well. You've been incredibly loud, and you missed the England game for this as well, which I really do appreciate. So thank you. We have got the newspaper show coming your way, late edition, where we're going to get stuck into all of Saturday morning's newspaper front pages, and there are some absolute corkers on there. See you in a sec. All right.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good evening, I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, as we go into this weekend, there will be plenty of showers around on Saturday and then some more persistent rain to come by Sunday, and all the time a bit of a chilly feel to things. That's because there's cold air coming in from the northwest across much of the UK behind the front that is now clearing away towards the southeast. So as we go through this evening, we're seeing the cloud, the rain in the south clearing away, and then, well, yes, there's showery rain, sleet and snow affecting Scotland, Northern Ireland and some northern parts of England and Wales, but across the bulk of England and Wales it will turn largely dry with clear skies, under which we are going to see temperatures dropping quite close to freezing, perhaps even a little bit below in some places, so there will be a touch of frost in a few places first thing on Saturday morning. But actually first thing on Saturday across much of England and Wales, yes, there will be some showers in the southwest and a few showers elsewhere, but a lot of dry sunny weather to be had, but some wetter weather pushing into parts of Northern Ireland, Northern England, the far north of Wales perhaps, and also a rash of showers across much of Scotland as well. Now these showers and the bursts of rain will continue as we go through the day. In fact, they're going to become a bit more widespread, so more places at risk of seeing some bursts of rain, and there will be some further winteriness, some sleet, some snow, particularly towards the north and over modest higher ground, and there could be some hail, some thunder mixed in with any heavier showers. And do watch out for some strong gusty winds, particularly with any heavier downpours. They're going to add to the chilly feel to things. Temperatures down compared to today and feeling it in those strong winds. Then another chilly start across England and Wales on Sunday morning, starting bright but turning increasingly cloudy and wet as rain in the northwest pushes its way southeastwards. That rain could turn a bit heavy at times, and all the while it is still going to feel chilly with the cloud and rain and blustery winds around. Signs of something a little bit dry and perhaps warmer as we go into next week.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
It's a prize package worth over £92,000. There's a totally tax-free £25,000 in cash that you'll be able to spend on anything you like this year. Plus, you'll also get to drive away in a brand new Benevan 122 camper van. Courtesy of Marquis Leisure, this latest 2026 model comes fully loaded with everything you'd expect. For another chance to win a camper van and cash, text prize to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB20 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 1st of May. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain, with our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you.
Bulletins on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No, because
the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing